a detective. Detective Maxwell had always been drawn to the darker side of life. From a young age, he devoured mystery novels and crime documentaries, fascinated by the intricate dance between criminals and those who pursued them. As he grew older, his passion for solving puzzles and uncovering hidden truths only intensified. Maxwell graduated from the police academy at the top of his class, earning a reputation as a brilliant and relentless detective. His sharp mind and unwavering dedication made him a force to be reckoned with in the department. But it was his unquenchable thirst for justice that truly set him apart. The case that would define Maxwell's career began one rainy evening in the heart of the city. A call came in reporting a gruesome murder in a run-down apartment building on the outskirts of town. When Maxwell arrived at the scene, he was met with a scene of unspeakable horror. The victim, a young woman named Sarah, had been brutally killed, her lifeless body left as a gruesome tableau. The crime scene was a labyrinth of clues and red herrings, but Maxwell relished the challenge. He combed through every inch of the apartment, meticulously cataloguing evidence and analyzing the crime scene. As he examined the room, he couldn't shake the feeling that there was something deeply personal about this murder, something that connected the killer to the victim in a way that went beyond a random act of violence. Maxwell's investigation led him to Sarah's friends and acquaintances, each of whom seemed to hold a piece of the puzzle. He interviewed neighbors who had heard suspicious noises on the night of the murder and tracked down a mysterious man who had been seen near the apartment building. Every lead he pursued took him deeper into the heart of the city's underworld. As the weeks turned into months, Maxwell's obsession with the case grew. He pored over crime scene photos, witness statements, and forensic reports late into the night, driven by an insatiable desire to bring Sarah's killer to justice. His personal life suffered as a result, with his wife and children feeling like strangers in their own home. Maxwell's determination eventually paid off when a break in the case led him to a local drug dealer named Carlos. It turned out that Sarah had been secretly working as an informant for the police, gathering evidence against Carlos and his criminal organization. Maxwell theorized that her involvement with the drug trade had put her on a collision course with her killer. With Carlos in custody, Maxwell intensified his interrogation tactics, determined to break the man's silence. He used every psychological trick in the book, pushing Carlos to his breaking point. Finally, in a moment of desperation, Carlos confessed to the murder. He claimed that Sarah had betrayed him, and he couldn't allow her to testify against him in court. Maxwell's triumph was short-lived, however, as he soon discovered that Carlos had been protecting someone else, someone higher up in the criminal hierarchy, someone who had ordered the hit on Sarah to protect their empire. It was clear that Maxwell's work was far from over. The trail led Maxwell through a labyrinth of deception and danger. He found himself navigating a treacherous underworld of organized crime, corrupt officials, and shadowy figures who would stop at nothing to protect their interests. Along the way, he forged uneasy alliances with informants and rival gangs, leveraging their knowledge to get closer to the elusive puppet master behind Sarah's murder. As Maxwell closed in on his target, he found himself facing increasingly desperate and dangerous adversaries. He narrowly escaped assassination attempts, and his family was threatened in an attempt to deter him from his pursuit of justice. But Maxwell was unyielding. He knew that he was Sarah's last hope for justice, and he would not rest until her killer was behind bars. Finally, after years of relentless pursuit, Maxwell uncovered the identity of the true mastermind behind Sarah's murder, a powerful and influential figure with ties to law enforcement and the criminal underworld. It was a revelation that sent shockwaves through the city, shaking the foundations of trust and exposing the rot that had infested the system. With the evidence he had painstakingly gathered, Maxwell brought down the corrupt kingpin and his network of cronies. It was a moment of triumph and vindication, but it came at a heavy personal cost. Maxwell had sacrificed so much in his quest for justice that he could never fully reclaim the life he had once known. The case of Sarah's murder haunted Maxwell for the rest of his days. He retired from the police force, a weary but unbroken man. Though he had brought her killer to justice, he knew that no amount of closure could erase the pain and suffering that had been inflicted on Sarah and her loved ones. Maxwell had fulfilled his duty as a detective, but the scars of that long and harrowing investigation would remain with him forever. In the end, Detective Maxwell's story was not just one of relentless pursuit and unwavering dedication. It was a testament to the price of justice and the toll it takes on those who seek it. His journey through the dark and twisted corridors of crime had forever changed him, leaving behind a legacy of sacrifice and determination that would be remembered long after his badge was retired.